Good evening, my friends. Welcome, and today we're gonna talk about ourselves, which is fun. And yes, it is. Tim, come on. You know, you're the first one to exceed yourself every time, my friend. You know, you're. Yeah, but I'm gonna put you on the spot just for fun. Yeah, let's put him on the spot just for fun, right?
I think there was a song about that, isn't there? There's a country song about that.
Exactly. Everybody knows it. Yeah. Who's with the Pope? Who's the guy with thin? It's the Pope, right? Something like that. Well, I think that if we are right here and we face traffic, we face bad weather, we face our thoughts of, oh, I have all the excuses in the world to not come into the center. And we are right here, right now. We just exceed ourselves so far. And when we think about exceeding, you just think about, major things. Instead of looking at ourselves and saying, wow, we do that every single day. We do that in minimal things. If I couldn't do that, but if you already came without cursing, you exceed yourself. Unfortunately, somebody just stepped in front of me and say, yeah, that one I lost. But maybe next time I do win. And this is a challenge that you do every day, but you don't realize. You don't realize how powerful you are. We don't realize how powerful we are. And you know who does realize that? God. It's amazing that God sees us as a final product, as angels. And when you think about yourself, say, angel, me? Yeah, wait, come with me at home and you're going to see the angel that I am. Well, he doesn't tell you and that doesn't tell us that we are angels right now. But he knows that in the end, our destiny is to go and to do good. So if we didn't do it until now, we'll keep trying. The thing is, if God believes in us, if God knows that we have all this potential, why don't we? Why we keep doubting about ourselves? Why? There is no reason. Think about it. Only to smile. You move 56 muscles in your face without even thinking. Without even thinking. Because if you think about every single motion in your body, you're going to be exhausted in a minute. This is amazing. We don't praise ourselves that much. And that's why we don't know or we don't realize that every day when you accomplish a task, when you don't do things that is in your habit to do, we're just exceeding yourself. You don't celebrate that. And that's a shame. Because if you start celebrating small things, that is a talk on YouTube. It's a Navy SEAL. I think he's higher in hierarchy. And he says something, if you want to conquer the world, if you want to conquer your world, start by making your bed. Which is amazing, because if you are accomplishing the small things, then you are ready to accomplish the bigger ones, step by step, little by little, baby steps. And guess what? He finished one sentence like this: if everything goes wrong in your day, you're coming back to a bed that you made. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that awesome? I don't know. Sometimes when I'm really tired, I don't care if I crash when my bed is not well done. But normally, it's awesome to see my bed, done, ready. It's a different feeling. It's a different feeling. And guess what? You did it, not somebody else. So you accomplish your first task of the day. And then you're ready for the second, and then you're ready for the third. But this is about focus. This is about training your brain to understand, and to search for good. Because normally we are wired not for bad, but to watch for negative things. In which extent? Well, remember, we are incarnating from a long time. So maybe in the past we are cavemen. If you go out and start looking, oh, what a beautiful butterfly, you're going to be eaten by a T-Rex. So you look first for the T-Rex. And if you look for danger, you're training your brain to look for something that is not good. We are wired to, give a big a chunk of our attention to what is not good, what can hurt us. But the thing is, because we do that all the time, we keep searching for the same thing over and over. And our day ends up being exhausted. If you train your brain to look for good, to look for how you exceed yourself today, in which minimum way, you start celebrating and your brain starts searching for new opportunities to do the same. And this is awesome. This is awesome. In the parable of the wheat and the tares, that in Portuguese is the opposite. And we always ask, why the tare comes before the wheat? Because that doesn't make sense. The wheat is the thing that you want to keep, not the tare. Well, Jesus said that the kingdom of heaven, it's like a man who sowed good seeds in his field. But while man slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the grain had sprouted and produced a crop, then the tares also appeared. So the servants of the owner came and said to him, Sir, did you not sow good seed in your field? How then does it have tares? He said to them, An enemy has done this. The servant said to him, Do you want us to go and gather them up? But he said, No. Lest while you gather up the tares, also uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And at the time of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, First gather together the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them. But gather the wheat into my barn. Matthew 13:24. Okay. Are we talking about wheat and tares? Who's the wheat and who's the tare? Who's the servant? Who's the owner? What is the field? Who's the wheat?
Us,
Who's the tare?
our thoughts, bad thoughts.
Us. Who's the servant? Us.
Us,
Who's the owner?
us,
Our God.
oh God.
Are we talking about what? Us. We're talking about us. The tare is the old man. It's some reminiscence from the past that we need and we want to get rid of. But sometimes the habits are hard to be overcome. And sometimes we are so used to habits that it's really hard. Think about the main thing, diet. Oh God, exactly. So mainly we think a diet excluded the tea, right? So you stay with die. I'm going to die of starvation. I'm not going to live until tomorrow without eating everything that I like to eat. Not really. But you need to exceed yourself. You need to see the big picture. You need to see the outcome. And you need to believe. That's the key. You need to believe. As we don't believe in ourselves, how are we going to believe that whatever I'm going to do, not eating my chocolate, not eating my, cake and stuff, am I going to survive with all, with starving me or just depriving me for that? Maybe not. Oh, yes, you will. Yes, you will. But we don't try. First, because we don't believe in ourselves. And second, because we don't want to give up good things. Good things that in the end are going to give you a diabetes, hypertension, so far and so on. So they're not that good. But we don't want to think about this because we don't have it right now. Well, maybe not. It is the same about the old man. What the old man does to us. He makes us focus in bad things. He makes us focus or to feel envy, rage, depressed, whatever feelings that are not good. So every time you keep this feeling inside of you, biologically, you create one substance. Like if I scare you, you're putting adrenaline in your blood. If I do that so many times, you're going to have so much adrenaline that is equivalent as an overdose. This overdose is going to make one organ of your body sick. And then you say, I don't know what I got this sickness. Don't? Really? You don't? I have a clue. Start 3 letters. Y-O-U. You did it to yourself. You did it not searching your thoughts. You did it by not overcoming the barriers that you think, maybe tomorrow. Well, how many children your grandfather had?
19.
Your? 19? Your? Do you remember? 3? Your?
Which one?
Doesn't matter.
About 10.
About 10. Your? More than 10. And now how many children our kids have? 1? 2? What does that mean? Incarnation, my friends, the line is getting longer and longer. So if you want to delay to do what you need to do today for your next incarnation, I have not so good news to you. It's going to take a while. And maybe because this planet is changing its vibration, it's not going to be on planet Earth. It's going to be somewhere else. So think about it. Think about it. The time is now. The time to do better, the time to exceed ourselves in everything is now. It's not tomorrow. It's now. Oh, we do it now. Oh, it's going to be really hard. We lost so much time so far. How many chances we have a day to help somebody? How many chances we have a day to uplift somebody? How many chances we take? For real? Not that many. Because we are centering ourselves. And that's the lecture that we just heard. Yes, you have to praise yourself up to a certain point. We used to play this saying in Portuguese, you're not the last Coca-Cola of the desert. You know? Don't think. There is plenty there. You know? You are special, but don't make yourself that special. Because that's always something that you need to learn. You have to be humble, but humble is not being subservient. This is different. We all like to live well. But in the end, what we want is to well live. It's totally different. To live a sublime challenge and to carry it out with wisdom is a bless that is available to all who resolutely resolve to advance, self-overcome, and reach communion with God. This one I need in my eyes. The existential fatality ceases to be living well, which is one of the human goals, to well living, which is a personal achievement that is non-transferable, special, that never changes or is lost, fostering happiness and working for the peace that everyone wants. What is the biggest difference in between this? Living well. Oh, what do you need to live well? Yeah.
Money.
Money. Okay? But money doesn't buy health, right? So you need money, you need health, and maybe love. Okay. From all of these, the only thing that is really spiritual, that's not material, is love. And love is what we mess up so bad. Love is where we go and marry our princess or prince, and all of a sudden they change to a frog. And you are stuck with a frog. And guess what? Maybe you're a frog as well. So yeah, it's a nice marriage. It's like Shrek, right? There's two ogres together pretending to be princess and prince, which is nice. But this is try to live well, to have, to living well, just looking outside. Well lived, it's looking inside. It's what do I need? Like, do you think that Mandela, Buddha, Mother Teresa of Calcutta, Chico Xavier, do you think that Chico Xavier had a nice life? He had all the challenges of his mediumship, plus some illness. And he was still there, working. He thought when he was young that, okay, Emmanuel gave me this task, and I just need to write that certain amount of books, and I'm free, and I'm good. And by the end, he said, okay, you told me that I need to write this amount of books, and I'm good. So he said, okay, yes, you're good, so you don't need to live anymore. Whoa. No. So give me more books. I keep writing those. How many books he wrote? One too many. Does he make, any account of that? No, he didn't. He keeps working because he knew inside of him that his task, the way that he could exceed himself in life, was to serve others, was to help the spirits to communicate with the living beings. We have another one, Divaldo, which is I think the best or the biggest in terms of name speaker, spiritual speaker in Brazil. People say, oh, Divaldo, he has a nice life. He travels all over the world. He's going here and there, and he spread the word, but he's always traveling. Yeah, sit 5 minutes with him and talk about his nice traveling. Sometimes he needs to eat at noon, and sometimes he's going to eat at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Sometimes he goes miles and miles without stopping for bathroom breaks. Sometimes, and he's 80, right? He's 91, sorry. So, yeah, and he's still doing it. So these guys exceed themselves a lot, by far. But have you guys heard about a guy named Nick Vujicic? He's a pastor. And he was born without arms and without legs. He has what he call a chicken wing. And that's how he flips the books, and that's how he walks. And his story, that I didn't put it here, I changed it. I used it on Monday, but today I'm going to use another piece of him, was that he tried to kill himself so many times. And because of the love, that his parents have for him, he couldn't do it. But he was challenging God. I'm only going to believe in you when you tell me why. Why I was born like this. And sometime when he was a youngster, he read a passage on the Bible that in the end was saying, do you believe in me? So the answer was another question. Do you believe in me? If you do believe in me, you will see why you're just like that. So far, I think he saw roughly 1 million people spreading the word of God. Because he doesn't have arms and because he doesn't have legs, people want to see him. And that's how God used him to do his work. He could just quit. He could just, lay down and die. He said that when he was 12, he asked his parents to fill up the bathtub. And he tried to kill himself many times. But he couldn't. And that's how he overcome what most of us will say, wow.
He had 2 bachelor's degrees and a master's also.
2 bachelor degrees and a master. Isn't that amazing?
I love the stories where you hear that someone's going through a difficulty. It doesn't matter what it is, as far as being a physical or emotional or some other disability of the heart. You don't have to be in a wheelchair to know what pain is. Does that make sense? We all go through brokenness. We all go through fear. We all go through times of being alone. But I believe that everyone has a story to share and can be a miracle for someone else. I've actually now met 30 people with no arms, no legs, and of course now they're encouraged to know that if Nick can do it, then I can do it. But I don't know what anyone's gone through. Maybe I don't know what you've gone through. I don't know what the camera person's gone through. But you all can also, share your story with someone else who's maybe going through the same situation to let them know that, hey, I was once there as well. I was also scared and alone, but I got through it. You can too. As I look at my own relationship with my father, I now compare it with my coming relationship and growing relationship with my 2-year-old son. Kiyoshi is growing very, very fast. And I know he's going to have questions in life, and we're actually really looking forward to homeschooling him so he can travel with us. He travels a lot already. He's done already 45 flights. And I want him to experience life. I want him to not just see me as a father or a daddy, but I want him to see me as one of his friends. I'm always going to do what my dad did for me, as far as showing that affection and affirmation that I love him, that I'm there with him, that I want him to feel like he can share with me anything. And maybe there'll be a time where he might think that dad's not cool enough. But, I'm going to do everything that I can to be the best father I can be, the best husband I can be. And I'm going to make sure that today I'm doing better than yesterday. There are always ups and downs to life, and I'm not immune from ever being scared or sad or afraid of different circumstances at times. But I always reflect back to, first of all, the previous chapters of barriers and obstacles that I've been through and how I did overcome them before. With the love of my family, that it's not about what's happening to me, it's how we're going to get through it together. I actually went through a financial crisis in January 2011. And it was very, very difficult for me. I went through panic attacks and a bit of depression as well. In our life, we can either be angry for what we don't have or be thankful for what we do have. And in the end, all we can do is our best. And if I can just do my best with the love and help of my family, we'll get through anything. Unfortunately, in this world of 7 billion people, there are a small portion of population around the world who not only have personal issues, but have, unfortunately, political or personal motives for different things. That does result in violence and murder and corruption. And unfortunately, this world may not get any better fast. But I do want to encourage the next generation that there is always going to be evil in the world. But what I'm trying to inspire into the next generation is instilling with them and within them a passion to really do good on a big scale. So the evil scale will always get bigger, unfortunately. But where's the good? There's always bad news out there, but let's show more good news out there too. There are many people who I've met along the way who are doing inspirational, incredible things all around the world that we're featuring in the Attitude Altitude magazine. And I just want everyone to know that with the power of the internet, the people who want to do good, who want to change the world, can actually now do it. My goal is for people to understand that if we could just get 400 million teenagers to give $1 a day, we could probably end world hunger pretty fast. So there's a lot of bad out there, but there's still a lot of good. Let's show and showcase that good. Happy SG50. Love you so much. Thank you, Singapore, for loving me. I love you. And please know that I'm a brother by your side, helping you to dream big and never giving up. Thank you, Singapore. And hey, I'm excited about your future, and I look forward to coming back many, many more times. Bye-bye.
We see his happy side, right? But you better bet he has a sad side as well. And he was saying that when his father saw him without one arm, he left the room. And when the doctor came, he said, "Doctor, my son doesn't have a right arm." He said, "No, he doesn't have both arms and both legs." And for a while, his mom didn't want to breastfeed him. So he overcome a lot. And he knows pretty much how to give back. And he saw what a beautiful wife he has. And I don't know if he realized when he was speaking, how many people was in that stadium. It's not an auditorium, it was a stadium. Who here spoke for a stadium so far? You know, this guy did because he had the gut. He had the vision. He knows I'm here for some reason. In a small sense, I'm here for almost the same reason, because I do have my disability. You know, and this just made me stronger, because every time somebody told me that you cannot do this, I say, yes, I can, and I'll show you. So I think that what he pointed out, two major things. The worst disability is the emotional disability. And that we can correct. That is not something that needs a surgery or whatever procedure. It's something that we can correct. And another thing is, yes, there's always evil in this world. We are not in the great, in the planet that is happiness all over. But it depends on your focus. It depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for evil, if you're looking for bad, you're going to find it everywhere. But if you start looking for good, you're going to find it everywhere as well. It is totally up to you to exceed yourself every single day in your thoughts, in your actions, in your way of doing things. The word renounce, we have to, bound with educational renounce. But the problem is the word renounce gives us the sense that that's still something negative, which is a part of our mental cogitation, our inclination, our psychological profile, and often our daily habit. And when you think about us and you say, yes, I did this, we are our worst enemies or the hardest judge. It's not this way. It's just the thing that if I tell you that you do have a problem and you don't think you do have a problem, guess what? You don't have a problem. You're only going to start dealing with your problem when you assume to yourself that you do have a problem without beating yourself. Yes, I do have some negative aspects in my personality. Let me work on them. Let me deal with them. And this is a healing process, because then you're going to educate yourself. How can I do that? The word educational shows the positive outcome, which will come when we can refrain from certain conduct, albeit that's at the cost of much sacrifice and discipline. The Spiritist book teaches us that educating is the art of forming character, good habits, noble attitudes. As we renounce unwanted inclinations, we build new postures before life until the new habit becomes natural, spontaneous, and becomes the definite conquest of the Spirit. A habit is not something that kicks in really easily. Because if it was, we didn't need coaches around. What a coach do? If you had a session of coaching, you know pretty much, but what he does is make you feel so miserable with the condition that you want to get rid of that you say, I can't stand it anymore. And then he presents you the great scenario that you can be. And you make the jump. But the thing is, it's just like passes. It's not that. It's in you. If you think that you're going to get to the passes room, and because you get a pass, you are A-okay. No, you're not. You have to be okay with you. And then the pass will do the complementary thing. It will help you with that. Will balance you. Otherwise, there's no way. It's just like the coach. Okay, so I don't have much more money. I'm going to keep my coaching sessions up to 3 more, and then I'm done because, I'm healed. And all of a sudden, 4 months from now, you're back to your habit because you didn't overcome. You just thought you did. It's a daily battle. We have to get over ourselves every day, and this is what changes. We are heirs of ourselves. What does that mean? For a spiritist concept, it means that what we have now comes from a long line of lives that we had before, incarnations. Everything that we are right now, everything that we feel, comes from our experience from the past and from this life as well. The symbol Chinese for crisis made up of the 2 ideograms. One means danger, the other means opportunity. The symbol is a reminder that we can choose to turn a crisis into opportunity, into negative experience. Yes, I'm in a crisis. Great! Great news! You know why? Because we don't move without feeling pain. And crisis brings pain. I have a good and a bad news. Bad news is that, yes, we need pain to move on. Good news is, yes, we need pain to move on. Because if you don't feel pain, you're going to stay stuck in your comfort zone. You're not going to progress. You're not going to get a step ahead. Unfortunately, with love and with care, we're still in the same place. And then when pain kicks in, that's the time that you jump. And you do something. So, this is the meaning of crisis. Crisis is the time that is generated to say, hey, pay attention. Are you guys familiar to the V8 commercial? Hello? Is there anybody there? Hopefully. That's what crises do. Just kick you. Say, come on, I'm challenging you. So, sickness as well. Is to stop you, say, hey, think about it. Maybe you are going to the wrong path. Stop. I'm going to give you a flu. You have some time to stay at home. You have some time to think about it and change your way. Oh, you don't change. The flu comes to pneumonia. You don't think. Pneumonia comes to something worse. And then you say, oh, I'm the unluckiest person in the world. That's my karma. No, that's you. I'm so sorry. That's no karma. That's you. You are doing wrong. You are not thinking. You are keep going in your path without changing anything. So if you get any sickness, just think about what that is. What's there for me? What is the lesson? Disguise in a sickness. Because there's always something. And that's why we say that pain is necessary. Suffering is optional. Because if you feel the pain and you start complaining, where is your focus? Okay, so if you feel the pain and you try to search for why did that reach me? What did I do to get that? Certainly you're going to learn something. And certainly you're going to use that as your friend, not as your enemy. It is necessary to observe the intimate questions that we can seek the overcoming. Conflicts will exist, difference, violence for some time. The transformation of the earth happens when change happens within each being. The famous speech of Mother Teresa, when somebody tell her, Mother Teresa, I don't know how to help the world. I'm just a drop in the ocean. And she said, well, the ocean's made of drops. Take all the drops from the ocean and don't have water anymore. And human beings need water to survive. So stay as a drop, but do your part. It doesn't matter if the other drop is not doing. It's not what we're talking about. Exceeding yourself. Not exceeding the other. The other has to exceed himself or herself as well. You exceed yourself. You help with your drop. You make sure that that drop counts. And keep on going. In overcoming the small obstacles of the day, the Spirit strengthens itself in the face of great vicissitudes, learning that pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. That's how it is. That's all it is. You can choose. You want to suffer? Hey, be my guest. I just don't think it's a good outcome, you know. You are already feeling pain. So you want to add something to that? You want to potentialize that? Wow. Not good. But yeah, it's everybody's option. Dr. Bezerra de Menezes said that understanding the echo of the distant past in the struggles that reach the present, the rebellious son, the difficult spouse, the material lack, the systematic harassment of darkness. This is what we call, you guys know that we have IQ, we have EQ, and we have the SQ that nobody talks about. We have the spiritual quotient. We have the spiritual understanding. Well, why do we have this person at home that is giving you a hard time? Because it would be so easy if we have the greatest family of all. Remember commercials from the 60s that everybody was happy? Yay! Does that exist? No. Sometime in your family you're going to have some struggle. So instead of saying, why is he just like that? Why is she just like that? Understand. It's because you allowed this spirit to come to your family for you to understand something, for him to understand something, for the family to grow with that. That's the greatness of incarnation. You don't know who your father was, who your mother was in the last incarnation, but it can be really bad. You know, great news and bad news again. This is a planet of tests and trials. And in the second page of, I believe it's the second page, correct me if I'm wrong because you guys know better than me, because I'm studying that all the time, of the Gospel according to Spiritism, that said that the world, planet Earth, is either a prison or a hospice. Who's in a hospice? Cuckoo, right? Who's in a prison? Thieves. Are we a thieves? Are we a cuckoos? Or are we a cuckoo thieves? So we are not good, my friends. We're trying to get better, but we are not good. So understand that. Why me? Well, because you need to learn with this test. You need to learn with this trial. And if you learn, the trial doesn't come back to you. But if you refuse to learn, how many people here know somebody that married once, twice, 3 times and keep telling that the spouse has the same behavior as the first one and the second one? Nobody, right? Nobody knows people like this. Well, so here's the question. Is the problem the spouse or the person? He's not seeing that his trial is this one. And then he keeps trying, he keeps getting the same. It's easy. It's spiritual intelligence. Unless to claim any harvest, useless to claim any harvest without first sowing. There is a Spanish writer called Alex Rovira, and he talks about good luck. He says that luck is something that everybody wants. But surveys point out that people that won the lottery, up to 70% of them in 7 years lost everything because they were not prepared to get all this money. And everything is not just the money that they won in the lottery. Everything that they had, including the family. And then he talks about good luck. When you prepare the field, when you irrigate, when you put all the nutrients, when you make the field ready and you don't have the seeds, that's the time when the lucky wind comes, full of seeds, and drop. And then you start seeing things growing. And that's the thing. This is the good luck. If you don't prepare yourself, there's no way to count on just luck. It's not going to work. Simple as that. We need to exceed ourselves first and then count on luck. Because it will come because you did good. How many crave to have and do nothing to possess? I have acquired a broader understanding in life, and you will know the case of all your sufferings. Every tear holds a lesson and is a stimulus to progress. Oh, I knew it. Your spiritists are masochists. I never saw one of us kneel down in corn and start beating themselves. No, we don't like suffering. But we know that pain is. And I never saw in my 14 plus years of Spiritism somebody come to a center, knock on the door, say, hey guys, I just stopped here to say that my life is awesome. Everybody that comes here is suffering, has a pain, has something that brings them here, which is not, hey, I'm so good. No. So understand that we have lessons to learn. If you learn the lesson, it won't come back to you. You're going to exceed yourself. Walk then with joy without allowing disbelief to creep into the spirit. We don't allow disbelief to creep in. Don't feed your self-sabotator. We have them a lot. Don't do that. Transform but not always convert, because we say that, yes, I changed. But inside, not really. So we keep going without converting ourselves, without believing in ourselves. During our existence, we all go through several transformations: age, disease, intellectual, moral. In general, these transformations emerge from the outside. Our temporal transit end up together with the causes that cause them. Distinct from psychological transformations, this is the Christian conversion, which is effective and lasting. This conversion can happen gradually or at once, instantly. What's the biggest case of instant conversion that we see in the Bible? Saul, that became Paul. He believed so much in the Roman law, he fought for that. But then God appeared in front of him. And he started fighting for the word of truth. He was passionate. He was converted like boom. He was going to Damascus to a prison and kill somebody. And this person was the one that God pointed out that will teach him God's love. So instead of being, the one that's going to send him to death, he started learning life with this person. Monsters are real and ghosts are real too. They live inside of us and sometimes they win. Sometimes, my friends, we need to make sure that this balance goes always to the good. Forget about them, overcome them. Stones persecute the stoned, right? Because if you don't make peace to yourself, it's not easy to overcome anything. Sorry. As long as the human creature does not make the firm decision to self-surpass itself morally, life drags. It is not others who does us harm, but we ourselves who harm us in association with other morally defect beings. Out to self-indulgence and exculpation, we excuse ourselves and blame our misfortune on everything, everyone. I kept this number 26 because on Monday people said, 26, what is that? Probably we have 26 or more defects that we excuse ourselves. So it just happened to copy like this, and I kept like that because 26 can be a number, 26 can be anything, except our own conformity to our own moral defects. Hopefully it's just 26. Let's hope for that to just be 26. We are in a good stats. Self-liberation. We bring nothing to this world, and it's certain we can carry nothing out of it but our good feelings, but our good thoughts, but our good doings. Nothing material goes. So why are we fighting to live and to bring money to our house that we cannot use, we cannot give, we cannot do good with that? Why? It's really hard. There's no way for doing that. The other day I was talking to my mom. My mom, Ryan, is closer to 80. She's having a lot of challenges in the physical side. And she was talking to me and saying, I just wish that you and your brother have a good life. I say, Mom, I have an awesome life. I have my bills. I have my credit cards to pay. Sometimes I cannot pay them in full. Sometimes not even in half. But I have an awesome life. Why do I want more? For what? Do I want to live $1 million to my kids, and then when I'm discarnate, I want to see them fighting to see if they're going to split in half, or somebody has the right to get more because they're more loved? Is that what I want? No. If I do have $1 million, let's spread this money. Let's help who needs them. Because our kids are raised by us, so they're okay. We can help them, but not this way. If you wish to emancipate the soul from the darkness of the I, begin your course of self-liberation, learning to live as possessing everything and having nothing, with all and without no one. I have everything, but I possess nothing. I have everybody on my side, but no one. Because nobody helped me to get in this incarnation, and when I discarnate, I'm going to discarnate by myself. Consecrate yourself to the good, not only for the good of yourself, but above all, for the sake of your own good.
Deus, me permita saber qual é o meu propósito, qual a missão que vim realizar aqui na Terra e de que forma posso abrir esse caminho que me leva à realização do meu propósito. Mostre-me o caminho. Permita que minha existência seja um presente ao planeta Terra. Permita que a minha vida possa inspirar outros irmãos à minha volta e que possamos juntos nos conectar em nosso propósito em comum, nosso Dharma de amar, de doar amor, através do olhar, da fala, do respiro, da presença e das ações. Eu não sou um ser que veio viver uma vida mais ou menos. Eu sou um guardião da luz, um guardião do amor, e a Terra precisa de mim para poder colocar a energia mais pura, que é o amor, em movimento. Eu sou a materialização do amor e carrego uma importantíssima missão. Quando me desconecto dela, quando me distancio daquilo que chamo de amorosidade comigo e com tudo o que me rodeia, sinto a dor profunda de estar desalinhado de mim mesmo. Não existe outro caminho para a paz se não me alinhar à mais profunda essência da minha existência, a pureza da minha alma, que carrega preciosidades para serem colocadas em movimento. Quando nego colocar o meu tesouro em movimento, novamente volto a sentir a dor existencial do vazio. Algo parece estar fora do eixo, parece estar fora de mim mesmo, e disso nasce a insatisfação comigo, com a vida. Espero que o outro vá me satisfazer com a felicidade que eu desejo sentir. Coloco no outro a responsabilidade que, por mais difícil de enxergar, nunca vai poder ser colocada no outro. Quando mudo a chave e me coloco a serviço, ao invés de mendigar aquilo que acredito estar em falta, o amor volta a fluir e minhas águas internas voltam a se purificar. Que o universo conspire a meu favor e me permita enxergar com clareza todos os caminhos que eu devo seguir para que a minha existência seja uma preciosidade para a Terra. Que eu possa entregar a minha carta de amor, sem perder tanto tempo julgando, analisando e tentando corrigir as cartas dos outros. Que eu possa estar focada e concentrada em meus sentimentos, palavras e ações, para que todos eles estejam alinhados a um mesmo propósito. Que o meu mundo interno possa se purificar e eu possa ver lindos resultados à minha volta. Que eu seja um canal aberto do amor a cada instante em minha vida, sem perder uma sequer chance de colocar o bem em movimento.
So my friends, my last request for you, and whoever watch my lectures, know that I don't ask too much or very often. But today I'm going to ask you to do something. And ask you to do something today, not tomorrow, today. I want you to go back home, and once you got there, you're going to write a love letter to yourself. Not to anybody else. You're going to write a love letter to yourself. Because if you don't feel love for yourself, how can you give love to somebody else? Write a love letter. Feel the love that you have for yourself. And then start spreading that. Much peace. Thank you.